In light of international developments like Trump's executive orders and restrictions at the Panama Canal, which could affect the flow of consumer goods in St. Lucia and globally, former trade unionist and consumer protection advocate Raphael Kingsley St. Hill says it's important to see the silver lining in the clouds. He pointed out that there are strategies that both consumers and the government can adopt to minimize the impact. St. Hill emphasized the value of using this moment to conduct a SWOT analysis, both individually and collectively as a nation, pointing out the opportunity presented by the anticipated increase in goods.
I see when people like Trump do those things, it's really an incentive for us to do things for ourselves. I am one that believes we should not be buying food. We have too much land in St. Lucia, spare land. We can do too much things with breadfruit and dashing and potatoes that we don't have to buy from outside. So therefore, that itself forces us to look inwards and do things for ourselves. A case in point, most of you would know the Guyana experience. Things were bad in Guyana when Burnham put embargo on another produce. But you know what? From my observation, almost all Guyanese know how to use baji. They know all the plants around us. The Guyanese use them. They were forced to use them, and they use them up to now.
St. Hill further emphasized the approach being adopted by other nations, including those in Africa, in reaction to Trump's executive orders on tariffs. He pointed out that this situation presents an opportunity for St. Lucia to work towards greater self-sufficiency.
What is happening in the world is, especially in Africa, the young African leaders are start looking inwards. We can do things for ourselves. This idea that when America cough, we have to sneeze, we have to get scolded. No. That's something of the past. So what Trump is doing is, Trump is helping us to think for ourselves. So I must tell Trump thanks for that. But we in St. Lucia must look at the opportunities.
The former trade unionist continued by stressing the importance of St. Lucians shifting away from imported goods and embracing a more local diet. He encouraged people to develop a taste for and explore the full range of culinary options available with locally grown foods, particularly root crops, which are resilient enough to withstand the country's biggest natural threat, hurricanes.
I remember Hurricane Allen, no tree had leaf, far less fruit. But the yam was in the ground, the sweet potato was in the ground, the cassava was in the ground. And especially now that we know cassava is good for prostate, cassava nous non petit ka planter cassava bokainu ala kunu pour nous manger. Well, you have to get the taste to eat it.
St. Hill further affirmed that St. Lucia's greatest opportunity lies in being a tropical island capable of growing and producing much, if not all, of what we consume. He highlighted how the shift towards relying on imported foods contrasts with the more self-sufficient practices of the past.
So we have to start thinking not individually, community-wise and nationwide, that we could start being self-sufficient in food. Right? We might be poor, but we're not hungry. And that's a difference between us living now and 50 years ago.
The former trade unionist urges St. Lucia to recognize the opportunities presented by global challenges as a catalyst for self-sufficiency. By shifting focus to local agriculture, particularly resilient root crops, St. Lucia can reduce its dependence on imported foods and strengthen its economy. Emphasizing the need for a cultural and dietary shift, St. Hill advocates for a collective effort from consumers, the government, and businesses to harness the potential of local produce, ensuring a sustainable and resilient future for the island. For Choice News Now, I am Dara Lionel.